Hey guys, what is going on? In this video, we're talking about B-roll, we're talking about cutaways, we're talking about that footage that isn't necessarily your main footage, but it's probably one of the most important things to get when you're out shooting. B-roll, it's that footage you get kind of like on the side that you get to kind of enhance your story, enhance what it is that you're doing. But the thing is, it's actually one of the most important things that you can do as a filmmaker, which is getting good B-roll and getting enough B-roll. There are so many times I've got back into my edit bay and I've used every single bit of B-roll that I shot. It's crazy. When you're out there shooting, you think, you got like 20 shots or 30 shots and you're like, that is great. That's good. I got a ton of coverage. I'm good to go. But in reality, when you start cutting it together and you start splicing, you're like, man, I could have used 100 shots. It's insane how much B-roll you can end up using on a project and how important that B-roll is. So outside of the YouTube world, I have a production company and we shoot a lot of promos, we shoot a lot of commercials, and then also I work on reality TV and I shoot documentary work outside of my production company. I am in this world of go, getting things on the spot, going out there and shooting run and gun style, and so B-roll is very important. For example, I shot a show recently called Mr. Impossible. It's a sports documentary show following this guy Matt Liston as he goes around and tries to change things in the sports world. So he does these crazy impossible tasks and then I film every step of the way and we cut these little documentaries out of it. So we've done 3 of these so far and I can't tell you how important B-roll is. So when we're shooting, say, an interview, it's Matt and it's a player and they're having a conversation. Not only am I covering that with 3 cameras, so 1 on either person and then I'm doing a 3rd as a wide, but the most important thing that they always ask me for in the edit bay from the editors is that they need cutaways. So they need that B-roll footage of like hands moving. They need like some stuff in the environment because there's always situations where you need to cut away. It's crazy when you start looking at documentary project and you're looking for B-roll, you'll see things like hands movement, you'll see reactions, you'll see all this different stuff that is not actually the person talking on camera. And a lot of that you get after the fact. So we'll shoot an entire interview and then, because we're working with like big players, some of these famous guys, they don't have a lot of time. We have like 15 minutes with them. So we'll shoot the interview, he'll take off. But then what we'll do is we'll keep Matt there and we'll shoot just a ton of extra footage and B-roll and inserts, just things that could be used throughout the entire interview, but make it seem like it's seamless and make it seem like we captured it at the moment. So outside of the interview sphere, let's say you're making like a travel video. I mean, we make a ton of travel videos. B-roll is like the #1 thing. So like, I could shoot a vlog and I could be having myself on camera, just chat, but it's not really that interesting. The interesting stuff is all that B-roll footage. It's all the extra footage. It's the footage that helps tell the story. So you gotta get the insert shots, you gotta get the slow motion shots, you gotta get the drone shots. I mean, all this footage is so important in capturing the place, the look, and the feel, and everything about what it is that you're shooting. Just talking to camera, you're not gonna get. So B-roll gives you that window into the environment. It gives you, more coverage of the subject that you're capturing so that the viewers have a better understanding of what it is that you're shooting. They get a better understanding of your story. They get the entire picture of what it is that you're trying to do. And at the very least, B-roll is what's gonna help save your project. So let's say that you shot a bunch of interviews and you have a little bit of footage and you're trying to tell a story. Well, if you don't have very much footage, then your film is gonna fall flat. It's just not gonna work because you need that B-roll to move the story along. You need the B-roll to cover things when there's errors. You need the B-roll to show the bigger picture. So I can't stress it enough. B-roll is absolutely important. Anything that's a cutaway from your main subject is considered B-roll, and that is very, very important. So when you're out shooting, a tip that I'm gonna give to you, when you think you've captured enough B-roll, don't stop. Because here's the thing, there's always more shots that you're gonna need. Like when I'm shooting these documentary projects, I am always just looking and thinking, what else could I capture in the scene and the environment? And it blows me away of how much of this footage actually gets used. There's never too much B-roll. And that's something you gotta get out of your head. You're never finished. Like you can always capture more because if you have more B-roll, then you can paint a better picture, you can use it, sculpt it in different ways. When you get in the edit bay, there is a lot of use for all that extra footage that you're gathering around your subject. Okay guys, that is enough with the preaching on B-roll. I hope that was helpful. When you're out there shooting, just think, how can I capture the scene outside of the main shoot? and go grab some extra footage. The more you shoot and the more you edit and the more you play with your footage in post, you'll realize, oh, I need more B-roll, or I need more of that, I need more of that. So B-roll is one of those number one things that you just gotta get, and you gotta get a lot of. All right, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because I've got a ton of filmmaking tutorials coming at you. Also, we got a ton of awesome travel content. We're traveling the world. Don't know where we're gonna end up next, but we do vlogs, we do camera tutorials, all that good stuff. Make sure you check us out on Instagram to see where we're at in the world. And guys, I will see you on the next one.